Stereo. Attention! Attention! And now we welcome to the grand trivia stage our great leader, our Grand Aquarium Emperor, the trivia master of this age, the past age, the upcoming age, and ages unknown. Please welcome Grand Trivia Master Fluval. Oh, that was a bad noise. Sorry, Master. Let's try again. Fluval. Oh, that's not so. We must find the noise to pay tribute to all 5 dimensions you hold in your control. Yes, the fake trumpet for Fluval.
Hello and welcome to Grand Trivia, the only show in any dimension where the points do matter and losing will cost you everything. I'm Fluval, Grand Trivia Master of the Grand Aquarium Empire, and with me as always is intern Chronometer.
Hi, I'm intern Christy.
Hello,
everyone.
Hello. Great Scott.
Great Scott. Great Scott.
Great Scott.
Welcome everyone to Back to the Future Trivia.
Yes, 10 questions all about Back to the Future.
Yeah, baby. Hail Fluval indeed. 10
Hail
questions.
Hail me.
About Back to the Future, Fluval.
Yes.
Fluval. When you were watching,
I realized you could have had 8 questions as a, well, it's like 88 miles per hour, or the speed the car travels to go back in time.
Intern enchantment underneath the seat.
Yes, intern enchantment, continue what you were saying.
I'm intern Christy. When you were re-experiencing, because as a 5th dimensional being, of course, you experience movies all at once, all at the same time, all together in a beautiful mush.
Of course.
When you were watching Back to the Future, did you kind of get like a feeling like we were like had a Doc and Marty relationship? Like you're the genius, you're like the super genius with all of the like cool like world destroying tools, and I'm just like running around here to help you out and fixing every situation by being super cool.
Wow, this is heavy.
It is? Why is it heavy for you, Fluval?
It's the thing Marty says.
Oh.
Because obviously, I'm the Marty. I'm cool. I'm hip. I'm also the Doc. You're you're Einstein.
Who's Einstein?
Doc's dog who drives the car in the cartoon.
Yeah. Ooh, Fluval is Marty and intern Car is the DeLorean. Thank you, I'm intern Christy. Thank
you know what that makes me think? Intern Cars 3 makes intern Cars 2 look like intern Cars 1. And you can join our game of trivia by going to kahoot.it or using the Kahoot app and entering room code 4649983 or using exclamation mark trivia in the chat to get a direct link to join our game.
No, neither of us invented rock and roll. That was black people in the United States. But we did invent a number of terrible forms of Christianity, flu, and reality television.
Yeah, that's why flus are called flus for Fluval.
Yes. No, we haven't flipped. Cars 2 makes Cars 3 look like Cars 1.
Did you ever stop to think that I'm evil?
I mean, of course. Thank you so much, Fluval, for being so evil and gracing us with that evil. Welcome, everyone. We're
Thank
so
you,
excited.
Lena316,
Thank you.
for what was called on our Day of the Tentacle stream the kiki ma 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 sound clip. And hello to Leah Thompson. Oh, wow, lots of people joining.
Oh,
Hello,
my
Bart to the
goodness.
Future. I hate
Welcome.
manure. Missy McFly.
Missy
Leah
McFly.
Thompson Hot.
Welcome.
The Power of Loud.
Love.
Jazz to the Fadson to Tico.
Marty
Marty Blank and Pa Peabody and your cousin Marvin.
Your cousin Marvin.
Marvin Trivia.
Marvin Trivia. Is he related to Lou of Lou
Potatoes.
Pinata?
Thank you for the
Mash 'em, stick 'em in a
potatoes.
stew.
Single walk
Well,
run.
thank you. And
Hello,
welcome,
Patrick Bateman.
Big fan of your work. Huge
Business card
fan.
connoisseur Patrick Bateman joining our game of trivia here.
We tried to offer him to run late stage capitalism. Who will survive?
Your cousin Marvinville.
Yeah. Kept killing the interns. It was wonderful. Thank you for joining us. Welcome again, Missy McFly.
Hello, Missy McFly. Welcome back
Welcome back.
to the game. Gonna go back to the
Swim
game.
in Lou's soup. Fluval, do you ever swim in soup?
Yeah, sure.
Never inhaling. Oh, yeah, of course. Fluval.
Yeah, but I don't inhale. What's up?
Yeah.
What? You asked me a question and then you just said yeah.
I was going to explain how you don't inhale, but you explained it perfectly. So
I didn't inhale when I swim through that soup. I didn't inhale. I cannot wait to put cars into Disney Dreamlight Valley. I can't wait till after my appearance on Kenobi, they put me in it.
yes, of course.
They
really needed to they wanted to like zhuzh up like the whole Star Wars thing. So they made the right choice, I think.
Absolutely. I mean, if you think Ursula causes some trouble, wait till you see Fluval.
Ooh.
But we've given you plenty of time to join our game of trivia, so why don't we get underway with our first question all about Back to the Future. If you haven't joined yet, you still can. If you are joining the game, stay joining the game. Don't let them make you stop. But
They legally have to allow you to play trivia.
I thought we're starting with a multi-select. Doc Brown puts which of these items into the DeLorean's Mr. Fusion to power its flux capacitor?
Oh my.
A banana peel, a Miller beer can, Miller beer, or plutonium. Choose all of the correct answers and don't choose the wrong one or oops, no points for you.
No points for you.
Oops.
And all that delicious suffering
Doc is
belongs
making
to
the face
us.
I'll make if you pick a wrong answer.
Oops.
Ain't I a stinker? A little mischievous smile.
Oh, you only had 3 by accident. 1 BBBR. This pain and suffering you're feeling, your unsureness of your correctness. Thank you so much. It's beautiful.
Beautiful
I hope
city.
You suffer. Beautiful city. Multi-select to start. You believe it. Believe Fluval can do anything.
11 of you fell into my trap.
11 of you fell into Fluval's trap.
The Mr. Fusion was introduced to replace the plutonium, silly. The plutonium is in Back to the Future 1, and Mr. Fusion is only introduced at the end of Back to the Future 1 to replace the plutonium with a more renewable resource.
Fluval? Oh, shit. Fluval, stop fucking around this week. Back to the future.
But also,
Back
note,
to the future.
note, the car's engine still runs on an internal combustion engine even in 2015.
Oh, that makes you feel better. That makes you feel better, Mike. That's okay, because all that suffering you experienced, it's still ours. We still consumed it. You will never not be suffering in those moments in time.
Yeah, he pours the beer in
Yes.
and then puts the beer can in, which is funny because he could have just thrown it in full of beer. I hate manure number first.
Suffering.
Tick 0 in second, out of time in third, and Missy McFly being all cool in fourth place. So why don't we go then to question number 2. It was integrated marketing, Alice. Marty McFly helped make Michael J. Fox iconic, but who was the first actor to play Marty? Eric Stoltz, Patrick Dempsey, River Phoenix, or Sean Potatoes Astin? Pick the one correct answer, because this is no multi-select. What's up?
The potatoes one?
What? Sean
Potatoes,
Astin's
Sean
Mr.
Astin?
Potatoes.
Not
No,
his father?
John Astin is his father.
Potatoes.
Boil
was
him,
the
mash him,
correct
stick him in a stew. Did I
Eric
say?
Stoltz.
I didn't say he was the correct. He's the wrong answer, intern Charlene. It doesn't. I could have said, did Abraham Lincoln play Michael J. Fox? It doesn't mean Abraham Lincoln was the right age in 1985.
I was like, but he was in the Lord of the Rings, which was filming. It came out in the 2000s. It was filming in the late 90s, and he didn't look that old.
It's almost like that was a hint that the answer was wrong. It's almost like that was a hint. He's 10 years younger than Michael J. Fox. No, but he was a kid in Goonies. Michael J. Fox was a teen/adult in Back to the Futures. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Intern Carr,
Champion.
are you okay? Well, I
I'm
can't
Intern
say if
Christine.
our
Thank you
guest
so
will get to the
much.
bottom of if Intern Carr is okay,
I'm
but
just
they
in
are
awe of Fluval.
doing a lot of important research into time. So please welcome Time Researcher.
Welcome, time researcher.
Hello,
Welcome.
Time Researcher.
third dimensional beings. Hello.
Yes, thank you for joining us.
Oh, clap, clap,
I've
clap,
been doing a lot of
clap.
research into the nature of time. I think you, as greater than third dimensional beings, understand that there's this theory that there are many universes, and in a world of infinite universes, anything is possible.
Sure.
I think that could be true, but you could tell me. I don't know that there's enough room in the galaxy for infinite universes. That seems like a lot of universes. But
a lot of universes.
I do think there is enough time, because on an infinite timeline, anything is still possible. And so, if you were wondering why something has or hasn't happened in the course of time,
Yeah.
you might say to yourself, "What universe is that happening? Where is it happening?"
Yeah.
And really, I think the answer is, when is it happening? Right?
Sure.
Sure.
So I've been receiving this. I've been receiving this evidence here for into this. This came from the Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh. It is here, as you can see, the Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh.
Wow.
Wow.
Pre-owned
And
vamps.
this has been very key to my research. This has been very key to my research. I've also been seeing, like, the evidence is coming in many different forms. Here's one that comes with a nice fancy cardboard case.
Oh.
Shrink wrap.
Do you have a steel book?
Here is 5 more. And so honestly, the real question is that we need to be asking is, when vamps?
When vamps.
When vamps? That's a great question. Thank you, Time Researcher, for joining us to ask the important questions that no one else is asking.
Vamps.
When vamps. Hello, Apollo Koala. Hello, CBC 1000. Hello, Lena 316. Hello, the Argyle. When vamps. When vamps. When vamps. When vamps. Hello, Eric Germ.
Ooh, vamp up the jams.
Well, you
Vamp
know
them
what's funny
up.
is
Well, the-
if you're watching this in Sponko Vision, you can actually see vamps right now. So be sure to put on your Sponko Vision glasses.
Yeah, if you were here for Eric Stravaganza earlier tonight, thankfully we here outside of time and space do not suffer from supply chain issues.
No.
That's only a late stage capitalism who will survive Earth thing.
Supply delays mean nothing when you're outside of time.
It's wonderful. We appreciate your suffering.
I am greater than your supply chain, as is our game of trivia, where almost all of you got it right. It's Eric Stoltz. He was fired a few weeks into filming when director Robert Zemeckis and writer Bob Gale realized he didn't bring the screwball energy they were looking for. He just didn't have the spunk they needed.
It did not have the spunk
He didn't have the spunk,
that they
but
needed for Marty McFly.
I Hate Manure is in first, Tick Zero in second, Out of Time in third, Missy McFly in fourth, and Bart to the Future in fifth. Yes, exactly. Sean Astin's dad, John Astin, was the original Gomez.
And do you know what that makes Gomez? The old gaffer.
Now I wish his dad had been crew, not cast.
old gaffer.
But imagine if his dad was a gaffer and
Still
lit
haven't
film
gotten
sets.
them.
Oh.
You might be on late stage capitalism Earth who will survive.
Well, here's
Thank
a
you so much for your
side-by-side
suffering.
image of Michael J. Fox and Eric Stoltz.
Wow.
Yeah. Can you pick out which is which?
I want you to put a third one in there, and it's of Luke Skywalker
Yes.
in the Return of the Jedi.
Mark Hamill. And of course, we could have Sebastian Stan up there as well.
Oh
Bucky
my
from
God,
the
yes. They're the
MCU.
same person. They are actually functionally the same person, especially along a far enough timeline. That's the same person appearing in different points of time at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Ask the researcher about it.
Did you know that actually Eric Stoltz is the CGI version of Mark Hamill that they made for the Mandalorian gaining sapience and going back in time?
What?
You heard me. Eric Stoltz is the CGI model that they made of Mark Hamill for the Mandalorian, who then got free and went back in time. Are you okay, intern computer?
I am. I'm just really appreciative of all of these knowledge facts that you're dropping on me, Fluval.
Well,
Apollo Koala sees it.
I'm glad you do Apollo Koala.
They have
Sapiens.
so many sapiens with them too.
Sapiens.
You really need to look, getting a sapien, that's not just a pet. That's not a studio cat. You need to be a wildlife rehabber.
Yeah, I mean, I got
sapiens.
Well, to clarify, I also think you can get sapiens at a bookstore near you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, you can get Sapiens.
Oh, yeah. Sapiens.
By Yuval Noah Harari, the book about humanity.
The book about humanity.
Sapiens, A Brief History of Humanity.
And how for over 2,000 years, and even longer in some places, we coexisted with other sapiens.
Not me.
No, not you, Fluval.
I'm
I'm a lowly third dimensional.
I should clarify
being, so.
They coexisted with me.
That's true. That is true. Studio cat is not a sapien. They are a studio cat.
We actually have breaking
homo.
news.
Yes, homo.
Breaking news coming in from our time researcher. Breaking news coming in from our time researcher.
Yes.
Yes. Research articles are currently piling up.
When
Look at all this research.
The question being asked around the multiverse.
When vamps.
When vamps.
Well, I can't answer when vamps, but
Wow.
I can answer when Day of the Tentacle. Tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, right here on twitch.tv/Radio Free Multiverse, Horde Jedi continues her blindfolded run through LucasArts' classic game, Day of the Tentacle. Will the channel survive when the two interns who have the most to do with it are not around? Find out tomorrow.
Have we finally found? No, Fluval, of course, knows the answer. Fluval just chooses not to share.
Oh, did it get translated as I don't know?
I choose not to share.
I have chosen not to divulge it yet, so I can't answer that. I could, but I can't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Man,
Yeah.
language is tricky, and it's all, you have to remember,
It's
everything I say is
stupid.
being translated for your lowly third dimensional minds.
Language is an idiotic way to communicate.
But speaking of
Lowly,
using language to
third-dimensional.
Speaking of using language to communicate, here's question number 3. George McFly says Darth Vader from planet Vulcan threatened to do what to him unless he takes Lorraine out on a date? Disintegrate him, melt his brain, strand him in outer space, or vaporize him? What threat did George McFly pass on from Darth Vader from the planet Vulcan in the original Back to the Future? 5, you got it right. It's melt his brain. And it was actually Marty in a hazmat suit playing the blistering guitar riffs of Eddie Van Halen to make George think that his brain was melting. But also, with that answer, we have time to go to... The Van Halen tape that is used to play is, if you look closely, specifically labeled as an Eddie Van Halen tape because Van Halen was too expensive to use in Back to the Future, so Eddie did it himself.
But Darth Vader and the planet Vulcan weren't too expensive? Did they have to pay for those? Vamps Halen.
I can almost guarantee you they
George
didn't pay
Lucas
for
would
Darth Vader.
not.
Yeah.
He would be like, yes, please promote my movie as a cultural
You know who
touchstone.
executive produced Back to the Future, right?
What's
His buddy Steve.
Yeah, his buddy Steve.
He's not going to make his buddy Steve pay him.
That's a really good point as well. But that's the other thing, is that I feel like some directors would collude with their friends. They'd be like, you pay me $5 million of the studio's money they gave you, and maybe I'll just give you $2 million back. I don't know. I don't know. Is that how Hollywood deals work? Is that how corruption works?
The closest to that with George. The closest to that with George and Steve is when they made a bet when Star Wars and Close Encounters came out, because they each thought the other movie would be more successful, and so Spielberg still makes money off of Star Wars, even though he had nothing to do with it, just because they made that bet in Hawaii. And yeah, George McFly becomes a successful science fiction author in the revised 1985, and that's how they get rich, is publishing.
Ooh, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
What a simple way to get rich.
But Roddenberry did love money, that's true. Roddenberry also loved comparing things to waves and waves of cum.
Loved that money.
Coming out of it.
Loved his questionable treatment of women on his sets.
Yes.
Tasty.
Art Bell as Marty McFly
thank you
reboot.
for all that you've done. Art Bell as Marty McFly reboot that never got off the ground.
Art Bell hosted Coast to Coast AM, the conspiracy theory over the night radio show. And yeah, I mean, yeah, George has seen some stuff.
Wow. Georgie.
Oh, Alice says if she had a wife, she would make her voice the voice of computers forever, too. And speaking of computers, let's go to our leaderboard, where Out of Time has taken the lead. Pa Peabody is the highest climber, up 5 places. I Hate Manure in second, Tick Zero in third, Missy McFly in fourth, and Bart to the Future in fifth.
Thank you for your
beautiful
suffering.
city.
The fact that you have to miss the rest of this show and you are so concerned about it and sad, that suffering is delicious to us because you are missing the wonders of Fluval.
You are also missing the question about Back to the Future, the ride. Question 8 is about Back to the Future, the ride.
Well, you didn't know the beautiful city. Also, you like suffering.
I mean, I didn't know. Yeah. It was a win-win for me.
I'm all like, Fluval, why didn't you do something that would cause less suffering?
Because that's not my deal. That's not my game.
God fucking
But my game is
for the suffering. It's for all of your suffering. It's all for suffering.
It's all for suffering, Damien.
It's all for suffering.
But you know, my game may not be being nice to people, but part of my game is question number 4. Here we go. The Back to the Future cartoon series helped lead to the rise of which edutainment personality? Bill Nye the Science Guy, Fred Rogers, LeVar Burton, or Mr. Wizard? Thank you for adding the question on screen.
I got you, Fluval.
That was a test, and you noticed.
I'm your loyal intern. I passed, you guys!
9 of you said it was Bill Nye, and 9 of you were right. He was the show's technical advisor and played Doc's lab assistant in the live-action segments that opened each episode, where Christopher Lloyd would narrate a science experiment as Doc Brown, and Bill Nye would actually be performing it.
Wow.
And Christopher Lloyd didn't voice Doc Brown in the animated segments. That was Dan Castellaneta, who most of you may know as Homer J. The J stands for J. Simpson.
The Simpsons. I wish I had the sound drop.
Do. Let's go to the leaderboard. Out of Time is still in first.
Tick Zero.
Tick Zero in second.
And Bart to the Future rocketing up.
And Leah Thompson Hott is the highest climber, up 4 places.
Congratulations,
That's true.
Leah Thomas Hott.
Dan Castellaneta was also the replacement genie when Robin Williams didn't want to do it anymore because Disney ripped him off.
And
lied to him multiple times
about irreversible damage that they were doing to the planet. it.
And about they would merchandise the genie when they said they wouldn't.
Yeah, because he did not want them to be making a bunch of trash that would irreversibly damage late stage capitalism. Who will survive Earth? Who will survive?
And then there they bought him a painting to get him to come back for 3. Oh, and Beautiful City says, fun fact, I'm still here, and you should all know there was a nightmarish dance on Dancing with the Stars last week to the Simpsons theme, and the dancers dressed like Homer and Marge, complete with yellow makeup. Well, you know, friends, where we're going now. It's time for... Oh, Lord. I know I'm not showing it yet, but just...
But you can see it, of course.
Already, and...
I'm so excited.
Oh, boy.
Right? Oh, goodness.
To paraphrase The Simpsons, stupid sexy Homer.
Yeah, they do look oddly like they're dressed like hotties. Like...
Yes, they bought... They bought...
Oh, they bought him a
Robin
Picasso.
Williams a Picasso.
Wow, another creepy ass dude. Just like Homer.
Just like Homer.
A great dance, but terrifying. I hate how her shoes also look like they're part of her feet.
Boil 'em, mash 'em, stick 'em in a
I've
stew.
seen this porno. Yep.
Yeah, that is what it...
Yep.
That is what... Yeah, that's his whole deal.
Famous.
They honestly think of the points they would be getting if it was Flanders, who is famously
Sexy Flanders.
Stupid Sexy Flanders, and he's famously fit.
Unbuttoned.
Whenever he takes his shirt off, he has like Superman's build. The Simpsons porn parody had better makeup, says Nomar Cat. You know, I believe that. Yeah, also famously big dick.
Famously.
Canonically ripped. Flanders' ass is holy.
Slangin'.
Slangin' indeed.
Yes.
But you know, did you know The Simpsons is owned by a movie studio? And that's relevant to our next question. Psych, it's the halftime show.
Oh, you got me, Fluval. You got me.
Here's the halftime show.
I'm playing a Back to the Future Nintendo game. I'm stuck in the past and I gotta get out. Quick! Or we all fade away to nothing. Uh-oh, bullies!
Bullies!
Please.
Take that.
Musclehead!
Yeah, take that, musclehead. Eat a malt.
I promise.
I can't tell if this child is British or from New
Oh,
York.
Mo! Mom? Dad?
And then the child was erased from existence, never to be seen again.
Wonderful.
This is all about a child's failure to save his family
Yep.
and himself.
Yep. It's exactly like the Flash storyline Flashpoint? It's
I'm
exactly
the future
like
Flash.
Yes, Fluval is the future Flash.
Yeah, that kid became intern Mike. Exactly.
That kid became intern Mike.
That was actually an origin story.
For intern Mike, the intern who moves the names around the leaderboard. Thank you so much, Mike. Thank
Anyway,
you so much.
intern Cannon, did you know that Back to the Future is owned by movie studios?
They're owned by movie studios?
That's right, and it's relevant to the next question.
Yes.
Here we go. True or false, the script for Back to the Future was rejected by movie studios over 40 times. Is that true or is that false? Seen here is the logo. Is this the logo they tried to throw in the trash can over 40 times?
This, oh, it's true. Interesting. I was going to bring up that he's drinking the Marg Mix out of a 7-Eleven Big Gulp cup.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is what intern Mike is doing.
Oh, yeah, Argyle. I do remember those.
Oh, my. What? Fondly.
Yeah. Nintendo's advertising was weirdly edgy at the time. Like, as strange as that sentence is to say, that Nintendo's ads were edgy, but in the 90s, yeah.
They were edgy.
They sure were, and they looked a little something like this.
Oh my god.
The new Game Boy Pocket, seriously distracting.
That is way worse than what I was imagining.
Yep.
That was way worse than I was imagining.
And so
Back
here's...
to the future.
I like to assume that means that Genesis was...
Something was going to wake up.
that actually makes sense. Oh, that's not the one you were thinking of. Yeah, that's right. It was also an entire series of Game Boy Pocket seriously distracting ads. Like, it's a lot of them.
Oh my god.
Oh, there's also some ones that are just racist that I'm not going to show right now.
Please don't.
No.
Thank you, Fluval.
No, that's just bad. Jesus. I mean, yeah. Come on, Nintendo. Oh, that was a different ad campaign. Still terrible, but a different ad campaign.
Not Nintendo's?
No, it
Still
was
Nintendo.
It was still Nintendo. It was just, it was for the original Game Boy, not the Game Boy Pocket. But don't you worry. They continued doing edgy ads.
It was definitely a
even with the
different
Game Boy
marketing studio.
Advance. Because the Game Boy Advance is the second best thing to do in the dark.
That one at least looks like
The Game Boy Advance SP for men.
that looks like you know, a consensual relationship.
Yeah, no, sure. Also,
That looks like a cute couple and the boy is gaming.
well, this also seems like it's a parody
What
of...
if adorable heterosexual white people?
Well, it's also a parody of condom
for
ads.
men.
It's parodying condom ads,
Oh, that's funny.
which is like, at least it's also doing an extra thing.
I'm bad.
Apollo Koala, is that really why they stopped them? Like, I believe you.
I mean, look. Late stage capitalism, who will survive, had a lot of unintended
Yeah,
consequences.
the
that we didn't
90s
think
were
about.
a wild time for weird game ads, as the Twitter account is named. They really needed to prove that they were for cool teens, you see.
Cool teens.
And cool
That's a good point.
teens.
That's a good point.
Like that. And the coolest teen of
Cool
all.
teens like...
Yeah, like the coolest teen of all is Marty McFly.
Yeah!
I thought you were going to show off your jacket and be like, cool teens like this jacket.
No, sorry, I was trying to support your segue
Oh, okay.
because I thought, wow, Fluval, what a good segue.
Bob Gale, the writer, told CNN the script was rejected over 40 times by every major studio and by some more than once. We'd go back when they changed management. It was always one of those two things.
Yeah, like Flake.
It was always, well, this is time travel and those movies don't make any money. We got that a lot. We also got, there's a lot of sweetness to this. It's too nice. We want something raunchier like Porky's. Why don't you take it to Disney? And that will be relevant to our next question. But first, the leaderboard. We're out of time, still in first. I Hate Manure in second. Tick Zero in third. Missy McFly in fourth. And the Power of Love. Oh, I just got that one.
The Power of Love.
Yeah. It's Mike. It's his last name.
I'm like, I don't see Mike in that word.
That's a thinker. That's a thinker. Just like our next question. Here we go. Despite other studios thinking Back to the Future was a perfect fit for Disney, why did Disney turn down the film? The movie was too expensive, the movie was too raunchy, they didn't understand the plot, or they already made the time travel movie, Unidentified Flying Oddball. Why would they make a second time travel movie?
Why would you need more than one?
Lock in your answers about the house the mouse built and why they said, we don't want to go back in time, Doc Brown. Pack up your DeLorean and make like a leaf and get out of here, Doc. That was
That
Alice.
was so perfectly timed.
That was Alice slandering.
That was slander, but it was perfectly
It was perfectly timed slander.
Perfectly timed slander.
5 of you, yeah, that's very true, the Argyle. But 5 of you got it right. The answer is it was too raunchy. And in an interview with CNN, Bob Gale once again summed up. Disney's reaction to the screenplay as being, "Are you guys nuts? Are you insane? We can't make a movie like this. You got the kid and the mother in his car."
That's what they got that sound from.
It's
The
incest.
spooky horror.
It's incest.
Mama,
This is
sound.
Disney. It's too dirty for us.
It's horrifying.
You almost have incest? Mickey, you can't
Dad's
allow
a
that.
peeper. The hero boyfriend is also the creepy perv who has been looking at her with binoculars through her window
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah.
He just didn't, physically attack her.
Too much body. Too much body.
Too much body. Too body. Too body. Much too body.
It is. No, I understand. It's an interesting movie.
Fucks his mom.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, how many years later did Game of Thrones and Hot D, House of the Dragon, Hot D, who's watching Hot D?
Though, I will clarify.
Made it famous.
Disney still doesn't release Hot D. That's Warner
true.
Brothers. That's the Dionysian morals of the Warner Brothers and the Warner sister Dot. The bacchanalian parties that have happened in that water tower. I don't know. I don't even know if I can say what's happened in that water tower on Twitch. Because it's Look, I'll just say this: the Warner Brothers
Wild
shield isn't the
parties.
only thing that's blue. Anyway, here's the leaderboard. We're out of time. Is still in first. I Hate Manure in second. That's a good point, actually. There is Star Wars. Missy McFly in third. Poppy. That was on accident.
There
George,
was one accidental incest kiss.
and they haven't done
One.
it since.
And they have it on our
And,
dance.
and George didn't know they were siblings yet. The Wills hadn't told him. I am not looking that up on DeviantArt, the Argyle. I know the rule of 34 is there's porn of everything on the internet. That is doubly true for anything that has appeared in Star Wars. You know, Nomar? He did, but he also probably named every piece of anatomy that's being involved at the time.
to a jaunty
To a jaunty
tune. Right?
That's the tune he
That
would
would be the
use.
tune.
Yeah. A very vaudeville act. But two kisses though, one on the cheek when they swing across in the first. That's true.
Oh, that's true.
That's true. There's the two.
This music does fuck.
Do. As does
Just,
almost Marty in Back to the Future.
yeah.
But let's move on. So Back to the Future predict. Sorry, Mom. Well, look. What's their mom gonna say?
Look, if they didn't know, that's on mom.
Well, also, here's
They
the thing.
did not
Well, no.
know.
I assume this is about Star Wars, right? What's Padme gonna say when that happens? And what's Darth gonna say? Yeah, well, you chopped off my hand and tortured me and my boyfriend, Dad, and blew up my home planet. Back up, save your judgment, boomer. Mom's dead. Dad was a fascist bootlicker until the minute before he died. Don't judge me. Oh, I don't think the people in that Folgers commercial have any problem with that. Folgers, nothing comes closer to home.
Ooh. Oh my. Oh my.
Oh man, I make a lot of sex jokes for a being that thinks it's a disgusting third dimensional being habit. But you know what else is a third dimensional habit?
What is?
Beautiful
what is
city,
Fluval?
you're still here.
Beautiful city is still here,
Well,
suffering. Suffering. Just to see that incredible question that Fluval has. Thank you for the suffering.
Thank you. Well, let's keep it going then for question 7. True or false? Back to the Future Part 2 correctly predicted that the Cubs would win the World Series in question 2015. I'm going to read that again. True or false? Back to the Future Part 2 correctly predicted that the Cubs would win the World Series in 2015. Is that true or is that false?
Wow.
Now I can die in peace, says that person. It's false. They won in... Okay, I'm going to go big so you can truly hate me in the way that I deserve for this one, too.
I'm excited, Fluval.
Back to the Future Part 2 said the Cubs would win in 2015. They actually won in 2016.
Wow.
And the official Back to the Future Twitter account said that the year difference was the result of the 1994 baseball strike, which threw off the timeline of the Back to the Future movies, which honestly is
They're just blaming it on unions?
That's the whole reason.
Are they just blaming it on unions?
That's the whole reason I threw that question in here, is to highlight the Back to the Future's Twitter account as a Pinkerton.
Wow!
I'm Trixie today.
Thank you for the suffering.
I'm Trixie today.
Wow. What a college. Fluval's just a rascal.
Fluval's a rascal. Much like everyone on our leaderboard, where Out of Time is in first, I Hate Manure is in second, Tick Zero up to third, Missy McFly in fourth, and Pa Peabody in fifth
Pa Peabody
place. And now it's time for the question.
The question
that beautiful city
has been waiting
for this entire time. It's time. Here it goes. Beautiful city, you're going to be kicking yourself for waiting this long for this question. What ride replaced Back to the Future the ride at Universal Studios Hollywood and Universal Studios Florida? Was it Fast and Furious Supercharged, Jurassic World the ride, The Simpsons ride, or Transformers the ride in 3D? I thought you had gone to bed. I would have told you not to wait for this question.
Did you get it right, Beautiful City?
I don't think Beautiful City's even playing.
So much suffering! Such suffering! It's all for the suffering! Diabolical.
Anyhow, the answer is The Simpsons ride. And in Japan, it was replaced by Despicable Me, Minion Mayhem.
Or The Simpsons ride. That's sad, Missy.
I've written them all.
Of course.
I've written them all. But there's a fact fractal coming up that you might actually be interested in, Beautiful City. The Back to the Future The Ride film was directed by Douglas Trumbull, who created scenes for 2001, Star Trek the movie, and more, and was written by Peyton Reed, who directed the Ant-Man movies.
Douglas Trumbull sounds like a name that J.K. Rowling would use to write mystery novels with. Right?
Oh, neat. Yeah, it does. But that's neat, Beautiful City.
Bullshit.
But that's why whenever you
English
discuss
man.
2001 A Space Odyssey special effects, introduce him as Back to the Future The Ride's Douglas Trumbull did the special effects for this movie and really made it seem real. Oh, yeah, it does sound like Matilda. That's true.
Yes.
Yeah, Peyton Reed, director of The Weird Al Show as well.
Right, though. She'd be like, I need to pen another horribly transphobic novel. What name shall I choose? Douglas Trumbull. Why do I feel so comfortable?
That's a good
writing as
point.
man?
It doesn't sound like someone who invented conversion therapy, which is the name that J.K. Rowling picked for her pen name, the guy who invented fucking conversion therapy. Yes. Yes,
You
J.K.
know?
Rowling continuing to find new ways to disappoint you.
Yeah, sometimes you're like, yeah. Sometimes your work can just like live and live and live and live.
Peyton
'Cause
Reed.
You mostly keep your mouth shut like Lord of the Rings, or sometimes you destroy your legacy.
Peyton Reed was also involved in a thing called Cranium Command, and yeah, there definitely are a lot of Cliffords here. No, Marquette.
Yeah.
A lot of Cliffords here. Yeah.
That's like weird bullshit. It's like, JK, like you were never that good at subtlety at all. At all. Like the names that she picked for various people.
Oh, yeah. No, there's some bad ones in there.
Severus Snape. Remus Lupin is just like, Remus is the name of like a werewolf, and Lupin, like she was never subtle.
Oh, yeah. Also the villain. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the 24, her first book. Yep.
Yeah.
Or Robert Galbraith's first book. Yeah, no, fuck that lady.
Yeah.
Fuck right off.
Yeah.
I think we should fuck right off to the leaderboard, where Beautiful City can be seen flying into the sun.
She's
enraged that she stayed up this late for that question.
She's making late stage capitalism who will survive, like a downer to watch.
Oh, she being J.K. Rowling, not Beautiful City, who I just described.
All of that suffering is not caused by us, like the suffering that we have caused Beautiful City, and I am therefore repulsed by the immense amount of ridiculous suffering that she causes.
Yeah, see, one of the big things is we choose suffering.
You truly don't need to. They're not that good, and the stories are in every other book that you could possibly read.
We inflict suffering in a scamp-like fashion.
And then we destroy planets.
And then we destroy planets in a scamp-like fashion. Not like, just like villainous suffering.
We're just scamps.
We're just little scamps blowing up planets for the LOLs and the tee-hees.
For the tee-hees.
Let's go to question 9. Here we go. Back to the Future crossed over with which Hasbro franchise in an IDW comic? G.I. Joe, My Little Pony, Rom and the Micronauts, or Transformers. Seen here is Einstein driving the car.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, see?
Look at him with a
Look at Einstein
license.
go. I don't think Doc Brown cares about loss.
Yeah, it got destroyed. You can't go back in time to go to bed earlier, Beautiful City, because it got destroyed.
Yeah, but if you had the DeLoreans, you could.
If you had those DeLoreans, you could. Also, and maybe if Einstein had a driver's license.
Also, the entire ride experience is up on YouTube and is an interesting watch.
That is very
because it actually wraps up plot threads from Back to the Future 2.
What?
There's things that are set up in Back to the Future 2 and not explained that then get wrapped up in Back to the Future the ride. Like, in Back to the Future 2, they don't really explain what happens to 1955 Biff after the movie.
Wait, what does the game say? And then I have something else.
Transformers. We have a long thing, so say your thing and then I'll follow up on the answer.
Okay, so what I want to do is I want to see the version of that movie with Keanu Reeves and the bus that he has to drive.
The Matrix.
No, the other one with the bus that he has
Constantine.
to drive. The other one with the bus that he has to drive, and he has to keep it over a certain speed. Otherwise, the bomb will go off.
The bus that couldn't slow down.
The bus that couldn't slow down. Yes. So I want a version of that where it's the bus that couldn't slow down, and then he like gets to like 88 miles per hour, and it's the DeLorean. And it goes and it meets up with Doc Brown, and then there's a crossover. Wouldn't that be a cool way to do Speed 2? And it's gotta go
back in time.
Yeah.
Not you know. Oh, you mean the
Matrix?
That is a better way to do Speed 2 than just Speed, but it's on a boat now.
Speed, but it's on a boat now. Did I know about Matrix Bear?
Oh, I know Matrix Bear.
Do I know Matrix Bear? I don't think I know Matrix Bear.
I don't think you know Matrix Bear.
Who's Matrix Bear?
So, you know the Matrix, right?
Of course.
And you know bears.
Of course.
Of the teddy variety,
of
particularly.
Course.
So you know Star Wars Bear, right?
Yes.
This is Matrix Bear.
He's so much better! Why does he have leather pants?
Because he's in the Matrix.
They gave him a cool out, not just the coat, over like an all over like, you know, Matrixy bear. Not just a bear that has the clothes like so like just color, like the color of the bear is that of clothes. The bear is in clothes.
The bear is coded, too. Here's
That makes a lot of sense.
It looks like the bear has holsters, implying that the Build-A-Bear bears have guns.
They rule.
But they have guns. Lots of guns.
Adult collectors Build-A-Bear stuff has been wild. I have heard.
Like, look at this. This is a
that's a thing
holster.
now.
What does a teddy bear need with a holster?
What does a teddy bear need with a
What
holster?
does a teddy bear need with a holster?
Good night, beautiful city.
Good night, beautiful
We
city.
have enjoyed your suffering.
You're gonna miss me explaining the plot of the Transformers Back to the Future crossover comic.
How could you want to miss this?
So, it was a 4-issue series where, following the events of the first Back to the Future, Marty McFly returns home to Hill Valley in 1985, while Doc Brown goes to 2015 in the DeLorean time machine. Meanwhile, the Autobots and Decepticons scuffle for the time machine. Marty unexpectedly wakes up in a dystopic present where the Decepticons killed most of the Autobots and successfully conquered Earth, with Megatron having Biff Tannen as his second in command. Yeah, you shitty teenager, you're my right-hand man. Fuck off, Starscream. Sure, you can turn into a jet. This guy's a bully. Luckily, a time-traveling Cybertonian named Gigawatt locates Marty for help. After a tough and confusing encounter with Starscream, which sounds sexual, Marty decides to trust Gigawatt, who is joined by Skills, another Cybertronian
good.
disguised as Marty's skateboard.
The skateboard is named Skills.
Yeah, with a Z.
Of course.
The group meets the surviving Autobots, led by Rodimus Prime, who reveals that Doc was unintentionally responsible for the chain of events. When he traveled to 2015, he met the Decepticon Rumble, who survived his encounter in 1985. Doc befriended Rumble, unaware of the latter's agenda. When the DeLorean was completely repaired, Rumble used it, somehow, to travel back to 1974, which makes me imagine a Transformer squeezing itself into a DeLorean, using Biff to develop Energon supplies for Megatron's arrival. Gigawatt then reveals he used to be a Decepticon, but after having enough with Megatron abusing and murdering other human workers, he trans-scanned the DeLorean and escaped, but his flux capacitor was damaged in the process, and to fix it, they need Doc, who is somewhere forming his own resistance. Doc Brown goes from kindly old scientist to military leader. Back at Hill Valley, Doc manages to save Biff and Marty's parents from the Constructicons, planning to reunite the last standing Autobots, but Biff double-crosses them and tries to execute them.
Yeah.
Marty and the Autobots arrive in time to save them, defeating all the Decepticons. However, they are confronted by a giant Decepticon disguised as Hill Valley's courthouse.
The Balrog.
Named Watchtower. While battling Watchtower, Doc fixes Gigawatt's flux capacitor, and with Skills, they both help Marty and Gigawatt get enough speed to travel back to 1984, preventing Rumble from awakening Megatron. However, Gigawatt gets critically injured from his previous battle. Marty uses the time machine to go back to 2015, where Doc and Biff repaired Gigawatt, and the Autobots are still protecting Earth and humanity. After returning in 1985, Marty gets a new pickup truck from his parents, unaware it's a Decepticon in disguise. Honestly, if I learned Transformers existed, I would never trust a car again.
I mean, I don't know why you humans are doing that anyways.
I mean, you shouldn't trust them anyway, but like, you trust them when you know that they're robots that there's a 50-50 chance they want to kill you and destroy your entire civilization.
Look.
Yeah, I bet it was, No Marcat. I bet it was.
Like what? I'm going to take public transportation?
But they could, no. They could be Transformers too.
Could also. What? I'm going to take a bike. Well, I guess if you're skateboard.
If a courthouse and a boombox can both be Transformers, it's wide open for everything to be a Transformer.
Can your clothes be Transformers? Have you seen our fucking infrastructure?
There's less than meets the eye. Yeah. That's true. Little children drive these 3-ton hunks of metal, which looked to me like 3 Tom Hanks of metal.
3 Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks is... Actually, there are human Transformers in one of the Shia movies, so Tom Hanks could be a Transformer. Now let's go to our leaderboard and see what's transformed the standings. Missy McFly is in second. Tick Zero has the highest answer streak of 3 in a row, but is down to 3rd place. And now, with that, it's time for our final question. question. Here we go. A true or false? There's an officially licensed Back to the Future musical. Is that true or is that false? Scene here is Marty playing Johnny Be Good, the song he definitely wrote.
Yup. But it was based on... Well, he didn't write it.
Yeah.
He wrote it?
I mean, if you think about it, ultimately, yeah.
I thought he was playing a version that he had... Because in his timeline, someone else wrote it.
But then he went back to
And
before it had been
claimed-
written and played it, which was the first time in any timeline... Which was the first time in that timeline anyone had ever played it.
But it doesn't mean that he wrote it.
It means as
that
far as
in that
you're
timeline,
you're right.
people would think that he wrote it.
You passed the test.
Could claim.
Congratulations, you get your chronology you get your chronology untangling merit badge.
Ah, yay! Thank you so much, Fluval. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's true. It is only a matter of time until Tom Hanks is in a Transformers movie. But almost all of you got it right. The answer is it's true. And the musicals, it's funny you mentioned Bob Gale. Bob Gale also wrote the book for the musical. So all the non-music parts, just like he wrote the original movie. And here's a look at the stage version, which that prominent JCPenney ad in the background. But also that DeLorean does look pretty good.
It does look really good. A no prize for me, intern Christy, and a merit badge.
Whoa, you're right. You're right.
This is the plot to...
That yesterday movie just was Back to the Future.
It was just exploring that question.
They just explored that question from Back to the Future, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, wow. The car flies into the audience.
Ooh. Yeah, that orange vest. Except the present time.
Marty, you do not have to do... I can't even... It's so hard to do a
Marty,
Doc
you don't
Brown
have to
now and not have it turn into Rick.
Yeah. I got that. I get that, Fluval. I get that.
Bob Gale, future Tony Award. I mean, it's hard to channel...
What time is that?
It's tricky to direct my channeling energies in the right way, I don't want to accidentally channel the wrong person.
Fluval,
What?
It's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your interns are?
Right here.
Yeah, they are. Do you all know where your interns are?
Oh, WizWorld Live has to go another
10
hour
o'clock.
back. We got you. Okay, here you go. There you go. That should turn into lightning as it reaches your atmosphere. Bye! Which is what we'll be saying to you soon as we go to our podium, which should be on screen. In third place with 7 out of 10 correct, it's Tick Zero. In second with 7 out of 10 correct, it's Missy McFly. In first with 7 out of 10 correct, the winner is... I Hate Manure. Yes, sir. R.I.P. Barry Allen, P. Peabody in fourth, and Flux name disappeared before it got read out in fifth. Oh, Biff wins. And I Hate Manure.
Yes.
Send a
Biff
DM.
wins. Send a DM to many places, including our Instagram, on Discord, intern Emily Pineapple.
I do, because now WizWorld Live if WizWorld Live went back an hour, they would know the answers to every single trivia question.
That's good cheat.
Much like
That's good cheat.
much like the Sports Almanac taught Biff how to become rich and eventually rule the world.
Yes.
Yeah, you have your Fluval Almanac, your Fluval
Yes.
Almanac.
Good. Your Fluvalmanac.
Yes, your Fluval Almanac. But so yeah, if you're I Hate Manure, send a DM to Intern Forest or Intern Emily Pineapple or to Radio Free Multiverse on Instagram or Twitter,
And we'll send you a prize.
and you'll get a prize. But that's the prize. That's the prize that's just for you. There's a prize that's also for everyone. Fun fact, that was actually the Universal Globe.
It was.
So now the Universal logo letters are just flying into space with the gravity that held them in place being destroyed.
Yes.
Look out, or you might be next. Oh, thank you,
Pain
WizWorld
Kill Death,
Live. And if
you
you
so
enjoyed that day of the
much.
Tentacle stream, you should come back tomorrow
Yes,
at
you
11 a.m.
should.
Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, when Horde Jedi will be at it again with more
Please. It's
Day of the
amazing.
Tentacle.
To be continued. You
And-
must.
And
For
for some of
some
us
of you
today, that's true.
today.
And I'll tell you this, they have some shocking reveals coming in that stream that I just can't wait for people to learn. You won't want to miss it. Shocking, just like the lightning
Shocking.
that sent Marty back in time.
Very exciting. Very exciting.
But thank you for joining
thank you
us
so much for joining us.
for this episode of Grand Trivia. Next week, we're going to Camp Crystal Lake.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
You won't want to miss all the
Camp activities.
cave activities, camp activities. We're gonna make crafts, all sorts of cool, creative stuff. It might even be a break from the trivia.
I'm back.
That's right, Lena. That's what I was referring to. Tomorrow, genuinely sponsored by Tapache, the company they were pitching.
Genuinely sponsored.
Genuinely sponsored by Tapache. But they'll see you then, and we'll see you next week because we have your coordinates.
Here he comes. Swimming closer than farther away. Fluval.